Hello and welcome. Today's project is all about a Q&A, and I just want to say thank you for sending me your questions. You can do that if you have any questions for me for any future Q&As or in general. Go to unpluganxiety.com under contact, send me anything, ask me anything, and I'll get that. It'll come right to my email. So in this episode, I'm answering questions regarding meditation, discipline, and how that leads to freedom, and then also I'm talking about diet and how that reduces anxiety. The first question comes from Norman. He says, I have a difficult time with meditation. I sit for 2 minutes and I can't seem to shut my mind off. What are the benefits of meditation, and is this something I should pursue? Well, the first thing, Norman, I want to say is yes, continue this. But also, when you start something new, it's going to be difficult. You're going to get that cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is feeling, thinking, and behaving in a manner you're not accustomed to. So if this is a new habit for you, then you're going to be bad at it. You have to go through this phase of being bad at it in order to reap the benefits of this habit. Okay, so an anxiety sufferer has a chaotic mind, right? Their mind is cluttered with things, unsolved questions running about. I would spend my days when I used to suffer from GAD, generalized anxiety disorder, I would spend my day, most of my day, reacting to all of the thoughts that come to my mind, all the negative thoughts that come to my mind. We get 70,000 plus thoughts a day. And if you're reacting to all of those thoughts, most of those thoughts, then you're going to be exhausted by the end of the day. And so what meditation does is it starts to clear up the mind, all of that clutter. You have a garden, right? And you neglect that garden. What happens? Well, in a month, the weeds are up to here, and then in 5 months, the weeds are up to the ceiling. So you open the door, and in the garden, it's just weeds. It's all you see are obstacles. Okay, so you see obstacles. That's what happens when you go into a messy room. There's mess all over the floor. You want to get to the other side of the bed. You have to kick things out of your way. So when you see obstacles, your stress response immediately activates. Right? So you go into a messy room, you see stuff in your way, your stress response activates. Same thing with your mind. There's too many unresolved issues. You're worrying about your health. You're worrying about whether this thing is a serious disease. You're worried about your family members, children, all of these things. They add up. They pile up. The room is piling up with things. Too many things going on. So when you meditate, you start to clear out and clear up all of those things. And well, first of all, meditation helps you to be more comfortable in your own skin. Anxiety sufferers are uncomfortable being by themselves. They are continuously seeking out coping strategies. They want to sit in front of the TV. They want to distract themselves on social media. They want to indulge in junk foods. They want distractions. They can't handle that time with themselves. So meditation strengthens that part of you, the part that becomes more associated with your own self, more the part of you that doesn't want to be with your own self, right? And so when you sit and meditate, what happens? It's just you and your own mind. That's really important. The second reason why you should meditate is that it increases your mindfulness. It makes you more conscious of the external world. And what happens when you're more conscious of your surroundings? you're going to step into less pits in your day-to-day. When I used to suffer, most of my day I was in this unconscious automatic state, right? I was running around with my head cut off, forgetting my wallet at home, forgetting my phone at home, forgetting important stuff at home. In Groundhog Day, Bill Murray's character, you see him step into the same sludge puddle every single day. And then the more conscious, the more awakened he becomes, he steps over the puddle. He starts to notice the things that are making his day more horrible. And so you start to be more conscious of the sludge puddles throughout your day. Really important. The third reason why you should meditate is that it reduces your reactivity to your thoughts. When I used to suffer, like I said before, I was reacting to all the negative thoughts, everything. And when you start to meditate, what happens is you start to recognize the thought. It sort of causes that negative emotion, but you start to lessen your connection over the thought, and you become more aware of the thought rather than react so instinctively towards that thought. The fourth reason why you should meditate is that it activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest system. It starts to calm the body down. It deactivates your stress response, activates your rest and digest, and you start to feel more relaxed and at ease. The fifth reason why you should meditate is that you start to manifest what you really want in life. So when you meditate, you are now in this unconscious state. You're speaking to the unconscious mind, right? The 95% of who you are. So when you meditate and you visualize how you want the day to go or what you really want, that's speaking right to the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind recognizes thoughts, images, and emotions. So when you project images constantly in your mind, when you meditate, your unconscious is like, oh, this is what Brad wants to manifest in his life. So Norman, I hope this helps with your dilemma of whether or not you should continue your meditation. The second question comes from BLZZ46, says, can you explain more about when you said discipline equals freedom? Now, discipline does equal freedom. Discipline allows you to focus your attention on what it is that you want to manifest, because there's so much information out there. It helps you to narrow your aim, because when I spent my early 20s in this Peter Pan lifestyle, admiring people who were living this nomadic lifestyle, looking back, I realized that there was too much information happening. I didn't know what to pay attention to. I'd pay attention to this thing, and then I'd pay attention to this thing. I didn't have a goal, an aim, a narrow perspective, which I needed. I needed order. I needed that order because I was in so much chaos. And I think that nomadic lifestyle, it seems admirable. It seems something desirable, but in the end, the people living that nomadic lifestyle, the lifestyle where they respond to everything, right? The junk foods, the sexual pleasures, the living without any rules and discipline. there's too much information. There's just too much. And you're more likely going to step into potholes, and you're more likely going to end up with sexual diseases. You're going to end up without a partner. You're going to end up alone more often, things like that. There's too many negatives to that kind of a lifestyle. And so what discipline does is that you take all this information and you shrink it down to this little bit of information. So when I wake up in the morning, I have a set routine that I do every day. I journal, I meditate, I stretch, and I take a cold shower. And when I wake up in the morning, I don't have all this information bombarding me. What happens is I wake up and I say, I know exactly what I need to do. And that equals freedom. Because when I have these set things to do, my life benefits from those routines that I do in the morning. My health is better. I'm more mindful of my surroundings. I am more calm. I'm more relaxed. So the freedom is the freedom of my health, right? The freedom of this control that I have over how I want the day to go and what I want to manifest. So that's where the freedom comes in. The freedom comes in where the freedom is the control that you have over your life. Because if you're out in the unknown, there's too much going on. But if you add more order into your life, then that control manifests your desires, the things that you really want to manifest. There's a passage that I want to read from Robin Sharma's book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. And he says here, and he's describing a wire that consists of many tiny wires. He says, you will see that a wire consists of many thin, tiny wires placed one on top of the other. Alone, each one is flimsy and weak. But together, their sum is much greater than their constituent parts, and the cable becomes tougher than iron. Self-control and willpower are similar to this. To build a will of iron, it is essential to take small, tiny acts in tribute to the virtue of personal discipline. Routinely performed, the little acts pile one on top of another to eventually produce an abundance of inner strength. Perhaps the old African proverb says it best. When spider webs unite, they tie up a lion. When you liberate your willpower, you become the master of your personal world. When you continually practice the ancient art of self-government, there will be no hurdle too high for you to overcome, no challenge too tough for you to surmount, and no crisis too hot for you to cool down. So, you're building strength. You're building your strength, like he says, and there will be no challenge too great to overcome. And discipline helps with that. So thanks for your question, BLZZ46. The third question comes from Anika. She says, I hear all the time about how the gut is our second brain. Could what you eat really reduce anxiety? Yes. And Professor Jordan Peterson, I came across this video. He was talking about how he changed his diet to an all-meat diet. And he said his depression went away. He said he became more mentally clear. He said all of his inflammation went away. And that immediately caught my attention because I was really seeking out, well, just basically living a lifestyle of mindfulness, of clear-headedness, of just being more intellectually better than I was before. And so when I heard him talk about how this diet reduced all of his inflammation and all of his diseases went away, all this stuff improved in his life, it immediately caught my attention. So now I'm on a ketogenic diet. I've been on a ketogenic diet for over 2.5 years. And I can say that the first month of being on the diet, all of my inflammation went away. The joint pains went away. The back aches went away. I started to have these moments of mental clarity, waking up in the morning mentally clear, without the fogginess, without the sluggishness. That was going away. And then 2 months into the diet, it went away. There was no lull period in the middle of the day. There was no period where I'm tired. I can't really think properly. I'm just lazy. I'm sluggish. That went away. Now, every day, I'm energized throughout the day without that sluggishness. Now, I can wake up in the morning and work on the podcasts, work on the videos, and exercise and not drag myself out of the bed. And then from that improvement, Maggie, my fiance, she saw that improvement and then started the diet too. And she said the inflammation in her knee that she's had for forever went away. And now she's running and now she's exercising and she doesn't get the ache in that knee anymore. So this diet, this ketogenic diet, what it is you're getting rid of all of the garbage. You're getting rid of the sugar. You're getting rid of the processed oils like canola oil, palm oil, sunflower seed oil, all those garbage oils. You're getting rid of those. You're getting rid of bread. You're getting rid of gluten. You're getting rid of pasta. You're getting rid of pizza. I know that sounds terrifying, but trust me, when you see the benefits, like I said with meditation, when you see those benefits, you will want to continue this journey. So keep your carbohydrates under 20 grams a day, and you are going to see mental clarity that you have never seen before. You should check out this book called The Big Fat Surprise by Nina Teicholz. The Big Fat Surprise is so interesting because well, first of all, she's worked on this book for over a decade, and she takes all the research about how meat was bad for you, how cheese and fat and cholesterol was bad for you, and she debunks all of that. In the book, she lays out all of the research, and mind you that meat, fat is the most researched nutritional thing out there. There's thousands and thousands of papers and studies on meat and fat. And there's absolutely no evidence from those thousands of papers, there's no evidence that meat and fat and cholesterol is dangerous to your health in any way, but the opposite. It's better for your health, that your health improves from meat, fish, eggs, cheese. Your health improves significantly because our brains actually run better on fat, on ketones. And so Nina, she points that out. She lays all of those studies out for you. So you don't have to believe me when I say this. Read the book, read the studies for yourself. She cites all the studies she lays out in the book. And she says, and she proves in the book that it, the what's it called, causation, no, just because I can't remember what it was. It doesn't equal causation, right? It's just because I can't remember what it was. But read the book. Read the book. I can't remember the saying. Something doesn't equal causation. But leave your comments. What was it? I'm just having a mind fart talking about how this diet produces mental clarity. But anyways, it does. And read the book, because this is absolutely powerful. She lays out all the studies for you, so you can check it out. If you don't believe me, read the book, man. It is so powerful. And it proves, like, she lays out how these new studies, people who are eating ketogenic diets, who are eating meat heavy diets, are living better lives and healthier lives. And that's today's Q&A episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, remember to go to unpluganxiety.com, leave any questions there for me. And remember, do not let anxiety define who you are. I will see you on the next podcast or video. Bye for now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell so that whenever a new video of mine appears, you will be one of the first to know. Namaste.